Chris Trott from Team TaylorMade here on the tour truck. In my hand, I have an order for Nelly Korda. What I like about this one, Stealth 2 HD, so it's gonna be the high draw head, 9 degrees, actual loft, just a hair more than 9, that's important, and the lie angle. Why is that important? Because it dictates the sleeve that I'm gonna go for, and I'm actually gonna measure this head before we get going. Different order that I'd normally build a golf club in, but I wanna make sure it's right before we get anything glued in there in the right place. So, first place we go is the loft and lie machine. You can see here, as I look over, 59.5 is what we're trying to gauge. I'm just looking to get everything level on this part here, which gives me lie angle. And then also, because of the twist face, I just want to measure the right part of the head in order to check that this is bang on 9.25, which we've got. So you can see here, just matching up, like I say, on the score lines, the top of my loft and lie machine. That then gives me a loft here. And I know before we get going, this head is a good place to start. Already picked the golf shaft. This is going to be Mitsubishi. Have made this one in the Vanquish 6S LPGA prototype. So we got to get this right. There's only one of these. Before I get going and start there, whenever you're building golf clubs, it's all about having the correct process, everything aligned in order. I've got my epoxies out here, gonna weigh my card, take that back to 0. Only making one golf club, so we're gonna go 1 part honey, 2 part on the larger bottle. So we'll measure this out. Half the ratio of the honey. Only making one golf club here, I don't need loads. Then you take quick center beads. These are required in order when you put the golf shaft into the FCT sleeve before it dries. By using this, you can see they're little grains of sand. By using that, they're going to ensure that is centered into my flight control sleeve. Literally just mix everything in, get it. The longer you do this, obviously the glues then bond together and you're going to get the reaction you want. It's important you don't just scoot over this process, as daft as it sounds. You do actually want to give that a bit of time. Now, one thing I do, again, preparation as we go along. Everyone on here tends to do this. Just pop a little bit of tape underneath there, keep everything in place in case this is used by others, and we get rocking and rolling. Tip cut, which is how we're going to tip this golf shaft, 1 inch. Just be careful when you do this. I'll talk you through the process. Measure my 1 inch tip cut, white on the black, perfect so you can see it. This is going to protect your eyes. Now I'm going to spin this golf shaft in order to not damage the fibers of the golf shaft. It's important. So just touch the blade, rotate. Any aspiring club builders, you don't just want to shove that through, you want to be gentle with it. Same here, just to get the paint off. You're just taking enough off so that when this connects with your flight control sleeve, it's going to bond. So the paint is away so it can bond. Now, pop that in there. Again, dry, nothing gluing yet. We want 45 3/16 cut. So that's critical when we come to here that we measure that correctly. If you shove the golf shaft or press the golf shaft against the back of the ruler, you're going to get a different length to if we are away here. Notice at the start, I measured the loft and lie. It's important that I did that because that can dictate the length. I know my loft and lie is bang on, so when I come to measure the 45 3/16 cut, then I know, mark this up here now, that providing it's off the shaft piece, off the ruler piece, that much, it's perfectly in line. I've got this centered on my ruler. I know now that that is going to be perfect on the length that we're going to want here. Whip that off. Again, line yourself up. Circular motion. Eyes in line with where the blade's getting cut. Done. Still not taking the plastic cover off the driver, no need to yet. We're not doing any swing weighting. Swing weighting is the balance point. We will talk about that but the weight of the head needs to be perfect for when I do that. I don't need mountains of glue on there, but enough to ensure we get the bond. Excess at the top, clean it up. Perfect. Now I know that's housed, but just to ensure, little tap, that's all it needs. I'll line up the graphics, so making sure that the Vanquish, the logoing, the decal, everything is perfect in the standard position. We've worked with the reps to ensure that these are the numbers that Nelly needs on the driver, so there's a good chance he's not going to be moving those shaft graphics or moving that flight control sleeve at this venue that we're testing. So you might as well get everything looking perfect on that for the build. Unscrew the flight control sleeve, gentle with that, put it to one side, then into our curing cells. So close that up, start the timer. 2 minutes 45, and this will be ready to hit. It'll be hot, but if it had a grip on it, it will be good to go once I'd swing weighted it. That's how quickly we can get this done. That's the reason we use the epoxy that we use. We like to move quickly, work quickly, don't keep the player delayed. I won't make you guys wait the full 2 minutes and 23 now seconds, but let's come back when this is about to open. Down to 12 seconds, I've gone out and grabbed my Golf Pride Tour Velvet 58, which is the width of that round grip. That's what Nelly plays. She's gonna go logo down. That is the next step here. When you hear the bleep, stop the timer, reset for the next person to build, open the golf shaft. Now, anyone building on here for the first time, be careful at this stage. This is a little bit hot. It's just been baked, but let's get rid of the excess. Let's move this into standard. Again, I'm bridging my hand. I'm not touching that hot area. Just want to get everything lined up and ready for the gripping process, which is coming next. Nelly is one wrap, logo down. So let's move to our gripping station. When it comes to this part, the lever opens that up, and I want everything to be square. A player on tour will make a reference if they like the logo or the grip to go on at a certain angle. When it comes to using round grips, not really an issue, to be fair, but you just want to make sure still that the decal on the grip and the markings and everything comes out perfect. So that goes around. Use the flat part of your hand to make sure there's no creases in that. I measured the length of the tape versus the grip, so I know, providing once I cover the tape, the grip is all the way on. And also you'll feel it as well. The grips have a slight cap in there, a housing, and you'll feel that golf shaft going into the housing. So keep everything level, on it goes, just cover the tape. I know I'm good. I felt it in my left hand, go right into the cap section, push that on, that looks good. Clean off the excess, open up, just a little spin to make sure that this is good down the back, more of a routine for me. I like to think the Golf Pride underlined, it runs slightly down the back of the golf shaft. The two markers are perfect on the face. Just looking down at that, I can see that looks pretty good, looks really good actually. Move now to the final part of the process before we get a head cover on this thing and it's ready to go. Whip off the sticker at this stage. Try to watch as a builder, fingerprints on here. Now quite a light swing weight required. So we're probably gonna have to do a little bit of adjusting. Swing weight is a balance point on the golf club. It's taken 14 inches from the butt of the golf club is the fulcrum point. I'm a couple of swing weights over on this particular one, which is only gonna be 4 grams in the head. So the way in which I adjust that, different wrench as you saw me reach for, simply unscrew the forward weight. Still a little bit of heat coming off there from when that was in the curing cell. Pop that out. Find our lightest option to get my gram weight differences that I need. Triple check where we're at with that. I like it. Pop that in. Tighten, make sure you get the torque wrench to click. Boom. Back on the swing weight scale. Boom. Triple check we hit what we need. Just want this to balance now in the middle. Absolute money. We're in a good spot. Final piece, just wipe off these fingerprints that we have going on. Not too bad. Always do the golf shaft. Holding it by the grip, pop it down. I mean, that looks really good. Fit for Nelly Korda, that's for sure. I'd be happy with that one myself. That is a Stealth 2 HD built for Nelly Korda and ready to rock.